Hello, beautiful ladies. I'm Terry Ann Porter, and this is Mindset Monday. Last week, I talked about the word ask and the courage it takes to ask God, to ask others, to ask honestly and boldly for what we want or need. Today, I want to take that to the next step. The next part of that journey is to seek. Instead of just defining it right away, I want to take you to a small moment in my life. I think you might be able to relate to this. A few years ago, I misplaced something important. It wasn't expensive, it was just meaningful to me. You know, the kind of thing that's small enough to lose, yet sentimental enough to panic over. I remember standing in the middle of the room, hands on my hip, doing that slow spin we all do, looking around the area, just hoping that the missing item would suddenly and mysteriously appear if you just look stressed enough. I said a quick prayer, Lord, please help me to find this thing. And then I stood there, waiting, hoping, staring at those same surfaces that I had already checked 4 times. Finally, I realized I'm going to have to move. With a deep sigh, I got down on my hands and knees and I started looking under the couch, behind the bookshelf. I even looked in the pockets of jackets that I hadn't worn in years. I even checked the freezer. Because, hey, at a certain age, anything is possible. I continued to look. And finally, there it was. Not in a beam of light, not dropped from heaven, just quietly waiting in a place that I hadn't bothered to look. I had asked, but I also had to seek. Whether you're deeply rooted in faith or not, here's the simple truth. Asking is the spark. Seeking is the step. Seeking is when you participate in the very thing you said you wanted. It's like telling God or yourself, I'm choosing to move toward this. What does seeking look like? It could be setting a boundary, making a phone call. It could be opening your Bible or devotional, or reaching out to someone who brings clarity to your life. It could be trying again after a setback or taking a class. Seeking could even look like simply saying yes or saying no. Seeking is not about having the whole plan. It's about taking the next step. A lot of us ask for something. We ask for peace, for direction, for courage, for healing. But then we freeze. We wait for a sign. We wait for certainty. We wait until we feel ready. But seeking doesn't require readiness. It requires willingness. It's the moment when you say, okay, I don't know the whole path, but I am willing and choosing to take one step. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to take that step alone. For some of us, seeking is a partnership with God. For others, it's tuning into wisdom or people who support us. Either way, seeking is movement. Recently, a friend was telling me about how she had been asking for clarity for her next season in life. She prayed, she journaled, she waited. Nothing changed. One day, nothing else to do, she decided she would clean out a drawer. Just this one drawer, just a mindless activity to do something. She didn't think it mattered, but she was going to do it anyway. Inside that drawer, she found an old notebook filled with ideas that she had written down and totally forgotten about. Seeing these ideas again reignited something inside her. That tiny step of seeking opened a door she didn't even know was there. Sometimes seeking looks ordinary. Sometimes it looks like cleaning out a drawer. Sometimes it looks like making a phone call, or sometimes it simply looks like showing up. But every step matters. This week, I encourage you to choose one intentional action that aligns with what you asked for last week. Just one. If you asked for clarity, seek it by opening a book, a journal, or a conversation. If you asked for courage, take one brave step. If you asked for peace, seek the things that make you feel peace. If you asked for help, reach out to someone who can support you. Write it down, name it, do it. Because seeking is where your faith or your hope, your intention, your desires, seeking starts to move its feet. And next week, we'll talk about that beautiful moment when things begin to come together, when you start to notice what's been folding all along. This is Mindset Monday, and I am Terry Ann Porter.